Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurshia Alwanis binti Masri. My message number is EX03402. So for test 2, I choose a topic retrenchment and VSS in Malaysia. Okay, so what is retrenchment mean in law? Okay, retrenchment simply mean the discharge of surplus labor or stay by the employer for any reason whatsoever otherwise than a punishment inflicted by way of disciplinary action. So some employer may call it downsizing, right sizing, reorganizing, or lay off for the sake of strategy or restructuring their business, but they all are connected to the retrenchment. So for the employee, it trigger may different emotion in those being retrenched, such as feeling sad, anger, helpless, and so forth. We often stumble across question whether there is any legal resources in this instance, or it is just a part of the ups and downs in the employment where there are nothing much can be done. So in what situation that the company can retrench their employee? So company are generally at liberty to organize their business as enterprise in a manner that best achieve their objective of maximizing profit, so long as the exercise is bona fide. As employee livelihood are affected by the exercise, court has willing to interfere where it can be shown that the decision to recognize it capricious without reason or acted by unfair labor practice. So company that are suffering losses may decide on a business strategy to minimize the impact of poor economy condition by, for example, terminate some employee and outsourcing those job function to third party in order to reduce the cost. So the reduced turnover and decision to outsource job function are some of the justification that has been accepted by court as being bona fide and beyond the purview of court intervention. So the burden of proving that the retrenchment was bona fide on the employer, and it's not on the employee to show that the retrenchment was unfair. So in 2012, in Quartic edition of the Court of Appeal, the Federal Court held that it is insufficient for an employer to merely show evidence of a reorganization or reduce the sale. The employer had a duty to prove that the circumstances were such that the employee function were reduced to such an extent that they are considered redundant. So what guidelines should the employee follow when selecting the employee to retrench? Okay, for a common industrial practice, they use a LIFO principle, which is a last in, first out. In a simple way, is it based on experience. The company need to retrench the worker who work the newest to the organization. So whereby the most junior employee measure in the term of length service in the particular category is selected for retrenchment. So by doing retrenchment, other employee get any benefit? Yes, the employee may get benefit. According to the regulation 6 of employment, termination and lack of benefit regulation 1980, employee who monthly salary is RM2000 and below, and who fall between the purview of the Employment Act 1955 55 must be entitled to retrenchment benefit as stated below, depending on their the nature of employment. So if the employee work 2 years and below, they get 10 day salary. 2 to 5 years 15 day. 5 and above is 20 day. So we move on to VSS. So VSS is the voluntary separation scheme. This arises when a company that is not officially retrenching, but naturally wish to get rid of the employee. In this scenario, the company will make an announcement that it addressed to the employee along the line. The first one, profit hasn't been good. Second, we have been making a loss. Third, the company is not dismissing anyone, but will welcome application from employee to be considered for VSS. So it is like a job advertisement that invite the applicant. The difference is there is not a job advertisement, but rather an invitation by the company for application by the employee to be considered for VSS. So okay, usually the company also will talk about the terms and condition of VSS, composition term, qualification, and requirement. Because of the nature of VSS, it usually more difficult for employee who have left the company on VSS to challenge this in a Malaysian court. So during COVID, many companies give VSS to their employee to reduce the cost. So here is a few example that some of the company in Malaysia that giving their employee a VSS, and in order to reducing their cost during the COVID time. So by the Travel Weekly Asia 29 July 29 okay, Hotel Equatorial Kuala Lumpur, May 12 May 2020, Hotel Equatorial Kuala Lumpur offer VSS. So the COVID pandemic appear to have reared its ugly head on the yet another hospital player. So in unrelated letter, the Property General Manager Robert Lewis said that the scheme allowed for compensation over and above the minimum guideline are mandated. They have tried their best to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on their business, and they are secretly appreciate all of their worker understanding and support during this time. So other than that, Malindo Air offer VSS for their staff. Also this new, I read this at the new Straits Time for June 2020. So Malindo Airways is offering a VSS to all permanent and contract staff after failing to secure loan or guarantee from the government to sustain operation. So Malaysia Hybrid Full Service Carrier VSS owned by Indonesia Lion Air Group said the VSS was applicable to those with applicable to those with service contract expired beyond 30th December 2020 at any level, function and location. So other than that, it says Genting. Genting Malaysia undertake VSS for employee in COVID-19 in restructuring their organisation. This news is on 25 May 2020, and the latest news is today, 10 October. AirAsia already this is for retrenchment. AirAsia already giving notice to their employee, if I'm not mistaken, 2,000 employee to take retrenchment because they want to reduce the company cost. So basically there are a difference between VSS and retrenchment. So the employee need to understand what the different and what benefit that you can get from these two type of retrenchment and VSS. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you.